Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of the 18-part series where I'll be going through every team's players that we could potentially pick. Only going through ones that I think will be relevant, but there might be some that I miss or some you would disagree with. So if that's the case, leave me a comment, let me know. All right, but first, before we get into that, join my Open League Loch Open League 506-532 and join the Podmasters versus Public, so where you can take on myself and other content creators at 937-841. And the winner gets a Supercoach ring, and there'll also be weekly prizes. Alright, let's get into the video. Okay, so in these videos, I'll be going through the fixture that the team has, and it looks like someone's just thrown up on my screen at the moment. But lucky you, I'm actually going to share this link in the description, as requested by a commenter on one of my earlier videos. I will do that because I'm such a nice guy. Yeah, so you can see, on the right here, it's got the 2025 ladder positions, and from 1 to 3 all the way down to 15 to 8, or sorry, 16 to 18, and all color coded. So, for example, here you got Port Adelaide, who they have a lot of green at the start of the year. So just something to keep an eye on. And obviously, we're not talking about Port Adelaide. We're talking about Adelaide today. So what have they got? Well, they've got no opening game round, so no early bye. They've got the round 12 bye, so they've got the first bye, which not really ideal because, not ideal for starting players anyway. Because what I'd like to do, all right, is try and target players that have the round 12 bye or the first bye after they've had their bye, so they're bye free. The early run here, they got Collingwood round 1. So not the easiest to start with. Well, shouldn't be because they finished on top. And then they've got all in a row: Port Adelaide, Richmond, North Melbourne just before their bye. So it's not the easiest run for the Adelaide Crows. Alright, so let's get into some actual players now. Alright, so what I'm going to do in these videos, so you can see here, obviously we've got the player, their price, their 2025 average, and in brackets, the amount of games they played. And comment is probably going to be, quite brief. I will talk about them though, and it's going to be whether, I'm considering passing, etc. Alright, and also here, you've got the buy rounds, that we went through earlier. I'm just going to keep those in each of these tabs down below here. And obviously, we're talking about the Adelaide Crows. So, let's get into it. Rory Laird, he's priced at 559k. And he averaged 103.3 from 20 games. My question would be here. So, a few years ago, he was playing in the midfield. He was absolutely killing it. Like, I think he had one year, he had like a Gary Ablett-like year. So, great midfield pick a couple of years ago. But for 2026 in defence, so he's gone back into defence last year, and he averaged a 103.3 from his 20 games. I'm just not sure if there's enough value there. Like, there's better picks, I think. All right, so but he'd be pretty good draft option, I would say, and you probably hear me say a lot about say that a lot about these players that may not pick them for classic, but he could be good draft options. So for me, Rory Laird, I think it will be a pass. All right, so we're going to go with that. All right, next we've got Josh Worrell. He had a pretty decent season last year. I actually owned him in one of my draft leagues, and I was quite happy with him. 487k, 90 from his 23 games, so he played all 23. But also, I just think there's better value elsewhere, which we will cover in future videos. But again, good late draft pick option. Late draft option in your draft leagues. So for classic though, it's also going to be a pass. All right, Wayne Millera, 429.2k. He was a good pick last year. He actually played all 22 games, which was it's a miracle because he's been someone that we've looked at for years as that sort of cheap halfback sort of option that could make us some cash. But he hasn't been able to get on the park. But last year, played all 22, which really surprised me, and good on him. All right, so very happy for you, Wayne. All right, but average is 79.3. It's definitely not enough. So it's also going to be a pass. Oops, capital P, pass. Mitch Hinge played 22 games as well, 74.6 average, and is priced at 403.6. He's the cheapest of these options that we got here. Did he just have a bit of a down year? Because I think there was 1 year, I can't remember if it was last year before, or the year before that, maybe 3 years ago. He was a pretty decent option, but then again, I think he started at like 200k or so maybe not. All right, but again, I think there's better options around the price, and it's going to be another pass. Oh, geez, not off to a good start, are we? All right, now on to the midfield as well. I know there's at least one person I'm considering here. All right, and that man is up the top here, Giordano Dawson, who is priced at 611.3k. And he averaged 113 on the dot last year. Played all 23 games, captain of the club. He is a guy who is in my team at the moment, but I think over the years, he's had some very good games, and then he's prone to score like a 70 or an 80, and you could perhaps get him a bit cheaper at some stages during the year. I'm pretty sure he always dips down to about 500k or so. Saying that, he is in my team at the moment, but that could potentially change. But I think he is someone that even though he's in my side, highly consider. All right, so Jordan Dawson. At some stage, he will probably enter my side. Whether I start him or not is another question. But definitely highly consider him for your team. All right, next we've got Jake Saligo, who started off with a house on fire last year. I think after what was it, 3 or 4 rounds, he was one of the tops, if not the top, Supercoach scorer. All right, so and as an owner in one of my draft leagues, my draft keeper league actually, I was very happy. But then, his scoring, sort of slowed down. I didn't think it was, sustainable. But he averaged 90 last year. Played all 23 games. He's a young up and coming midfielder. Should get more, bit better. But at 488.9k, do we pick him? I don't think we do. I bet so. I think that's going to be a pass. All right, next we've got Dan Curtin, 392.2k, 72.5 average from his 23 games. I do think he had a much better second half of the season, and I think he was forward eligible last year. All right, but unfortunately he's injured and he's going to be out. I think it's for a couple of months or so. So he won't be available for the start of the season. That's for sure. So for that reason, it's going to be a pass. All right, but if he was fit before the news broke that he had a kneecap injury, he was one that was he wasn't in my team, but he was definitely on my watch list, someone to watch. All right, so unfortunately we can't pick Dan Curtin to start the year unless you want a really expensive mid loophole, which we don't want. All right, and then finally we've got Chase Jones, 119.9k, average of 19.4 from 5 games, and I do believe most of those were sub affected, but I just thought I'd put him in here because rookie price, got AFL experience. But we're probably not going to go there unless we see something really impressive in the midfield. But if he does have a good preseason, he might be someone that we might watch. All right, but yeah, I don't say that with any confidence at all. Yeah, you likely won't be entering my team. All right, on to the rucks. All right, now we've got two options here. We've got Riley O'Brien, 524.2k, average of 96.9 from 23 games. All right, but yeah, is that enough? Yeah, I don't think so. But who knows? Will these new ruck rules that have come in, suit him at all? Yeah, not really sure. Yeah, watch the practice games. See how he goes against other teams, ruckman. But yeah, it's likely it's going to be a pass. All right, and the other ruck option here. Could Adelaide play two rucks, or will they just go with Riley O'Brien and still have Riley Thilthorpe as the second ruck, or do they play Lachlan McAndrew, who didn't play a game last year, 119.9k, but yeah, I think there's another guy that's going to more of a chance of playing from another team, which we will cover in another video. Yeah, but I think that's going to be a pass. All right, now on to the forwards. All right, first one, Isaac Rankin, who's also midfield eligible, 539.2k, average of 99.7 last year from 22 games. Missed the last one because he was a very naughty boy and the final series, and he's also going to miss round one this year. So, yeah, probably won't start him unless you want a really expensive loophole, or maybe. Is there a world where if you have a good rookie score on the bench who plays early in the game and early in the round in your forward line, and you want to take that score, you could pick Isaac Rankin because he's back round two. Maybe you could do that. I don't think I will do that, but could happen. Possibility. Very slim possibility, but yeah. But to start of the year, we're just going to go suspended round one. And it's going to be pass. We'll look to get him in the side probably at some stage of the year, though. Alright, so second in the forward line, we've got Riley Thilthorpe. 525.4k, average of 97.1 from all 23 games. Had an absolute awesome year last year. Yeah, and we're not going to pick him this year, but I thought I'd give him a bit of respect because in last year's version, he was 370 or so K last year, and I said, no, it's a pass. But, for a key forward, it's 97.1 average. That's actually pretty good. And he ended up in a lot of people's teams, so I didn't give you enough to respect Riley Thilthorpe, so please forgive me. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, still, it's going to be a pass to start in the side. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you get cheaper, like you have a few down games and you get really cheap, you could be an F6. We'll see. All right. Next, we've got Sid Draper at 126.1k, average of 23.3 points per game last year from his 10 games, and yeah, majority of those were sub-affected. I can't remember if they were like sort of managing him because he had back issues or something like that. But yeah, he's one that is he's in my side at the moment. Yeah, with the 23rd player now, 5 on the bench, and no sub rule. So yeah, he is one that is one that we would highly consider. Yeah, I'm gonna say watch if named round one. All right, so yeah, if he starts named round one, yeah, I think he will definitely be in my side. All right, so that brings the end to the. Actually, before we do that, there's probably another guy I could have put here. He goes by the name of Ben Keys. Yeah, he could score you a 120. He could also score you a 20. So yeah, I'm not going there. All right. So yeah, that's the end of the Adelaide video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know if you disagree or agree with any of what I've done here. And also, don't forget to, I'll put the link to this spreadsheet in the comments. In the description. And I will see you in the next video. All right, see you. Bye.